All right. So there on NewbieVeT, got a special guest. We got my homegirl, Nokomiss. Noko, how's everything been going with you?
What's really good? I am in a really great mood right now because I just got out of the studio with my favorite producer. Let's, keep it real.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's
Absolutely.
much love. That's much love. That's much love. So how's everything been going with you, as far as with the music, family, everything that's been past few years?
Yeah, it's been good. I had a little bit of hiatus with the music. I released my my debut album, Divinely Connected. My goodness, I don't even know. It was more than a year ago, I'm pretty sure. And it just kind of felt like it was like a birth, right? It's like you have a child. So it's like it came out. And then after that happens, there's this weird feeling of like, oh my God, it's not in me anymore. Like as a woman, I know I'm a mom. So it was just this weird like separation anxiety or something.
Right.
And like I shared it with the world, but like the world doesn't hear it yet because I'm just an indie artist. And let's face it, the things I talk about, I get censored. Okay, I'm going to keep it real.
Why is that?
Well, I speak about things that those in power don't want, the masses to know about. So health freedom is one of the main, topics that I get into, and you can see it in my songs. You can hear I speak about cannabis and how it saves lives, and in some places you can still go to jail for helping somebody feel better with a plant. It's like madness.
Right.
So, it's hard. So when I released my album, it was like, I really was excited about what that meant. And like, oh my God, I'm going to have a product, that I can get out to the people, and like, I can make money, I can support myself and still do my passion, help the world. And it's like, I didn't really sell much. Let's keep it, it honest. And it was just this kind of letdown of, I want my music out there, but it's not happening. So somebody actually donated, one of my tribe members donated some money for me to like get my CDs made. And, I've been giving them out. I have a little shop on Instagram with stones and crystals and bracelets and stuff like that. And so when people order, they get a free gift. They get my album. And it's been like a blessing to me because like I feel like, people are getting my music, and even if it's not necessarily I'm gaining, I don't care about the money as much as I really just want people to hear it because it's like built for this time. Right. Like what I was writing about is so perfect for what's happening right now. People need it. People need the encouragement, the love, and the good ideas about how to feel like live in this world, how to feel good, how to be healthy because everything is so backwards right now.
Yeah. So what put you on this quest like in the beginning as far as like your quest of getting this message out? Like what was the beginning? Like what inspired, what got you into it?
When I first started doing hip hop, it was more of an expression for me of getting my thoughts and feelings out, and it transformed as I kind of awakened in my own life and learned things that I never were taught in school, right? Things I had to learn on my own.
We don't learn much in school.
What's that?
Because you don't really learn much in school.
Well, I mean, it's a memorization game. Right. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of critical thinking. It's not a lot of like questioning. And, luckily I grew up with a dad that, a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, if that's what we're going to label him. But, back in the day, I was kind of like, what is he talking about? But now it's like, oh my God, my dad. And luckily he planted those seeds with me. And he really stood for justice and truth and like those things. And then my mom is like a huge like love person, like equality and just, she would save like, a dead turtle in the road and scrape it up and try to help, save it back to life. So for me, it's like I have this beautiful yin yang thing. And like when I started getting into music and like expressing myself more and then awakening, it was like this perfect storm, to be honest, because it was like I found a calling. I found my passion, but also how I can help the world, with my passion. Because like the music industry is, not so good. I don't want my children listening to that kind of, I don't even know what to call it. It's not even trash. It's worse than that. It's possessing people. It's got this mind control over people and it's got hidden messages and things. So when you really get deep into this stuff, you don't want to be listening to it. Some of the stuff that's out there. So for me, it's like, wow, I can make content, for the next generation. I can make content for people that want to feel peace, that want to feel high vibrational, that want to be inspired and motivated by their music instead of, enslaved.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm bringing.
Right.
And I think the world needs that right now. So we're just, we're trying to turn the tables a little bit. It's time, people are fed up with what's going on right now.
Right, so, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it takes away from good storytelling, good music, good messages. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Which in time over the years in music, good messages always get overlooked.
Absolutely.
Because you know, sex sales always be the number one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
violence and everything else. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now it's a lot worse now.
Yep.
You know, so hopefully it gets back to creative, being more creative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, at one point it was all about how creative you were
Mm-hmm.
and how original you were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it isn't about that no more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, I really think it's going to take, you know, the masses to decide, hey, I'm going to unsubscribe from that. I know it's toxic. And I'm going to start supporting, you know, these people that are putting out creative. Because there's people out here putting creative stuff out, but y'all just aren't seeing it or you're not supporting it. So,
Right.
you know, that's a choice that, you know, the people out there have to make eventually if they do want, you know, to turn those tides and see substance in the things that they're being presented, not just with music, but with
Right.
all art forms. If you look
All
at,
art forms.
you know, if you look at like TV and like what people are watching, what movies are being made, like it's all like this like predictive programming, like crazy stuff. When you start looking into it and diving into the symbology, there's so much to learn. And just, I really am out here just trying to get people to open their minds and like start looking around you, because there's magic around you,
Yeah.
but it's being hidden
Yeah.
for a reason, because we are so powerful.
Right. There's magic and your answers is around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the art side of it, it's like, to me, I've always been into music. So to be able to have this vessel, to be able to share, you know, my voice is my instrument, you know, instead of something else, and help with this, what I feel is a shift that needs to happen and that's going to happen, you know, with art, with music, where we're embracing these authentic artists that are really like not just puppets, and that are like speaking from their heart, that are helping, truly giving back to the community, and not just doing it in front of the camera. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of that happening. A lot of what you see on the news, y'all, is not real. I want to tell you this. It's not, okay? And the more that you understand that and start looking at it, you will see for yourself, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Fact check the fact checkers, okay? Right. There's a reason that they're fact checkers.
Right, exactly. So what got you into the casting of the Stones, doing the Stones, jury?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Well, I'm Native American. That's where my name comes from, Nokomiss. Okay. It means granddaughter of the moon. And
that's dope.
Yeah, thank you. And I know everybody calls me Noko, and I really love that because it flows.
So that describes like a picture that you had a while back. It was you standing at the moon.
Yes, that is like one.
That.
Yeah, that's like one of my first, like when I was working with the first producers in Atlanta area. Yeah. Oh my goodness, good old memories. But yeah, that was a cool picture that we did, just a random photo shoot with a friend that kind of styled me, and we wanted to show that connection, because I love the moon, I love the cycles, and as a Native American, you know, our religion is Mother Nature. It's Mother Earth. It's we're all just beautiful flowers, right? Growing in this garden of Mother Earth, and it teaches you that all life is sacred, and it's just beautiful. And when you start getting in touch with your surroundings, because really we're not supposed to be living how we're living right now. Like what's been built for us is really not good for us. If you look at everything, that's why I called it backwards world earlier. And so when you like tune that out and start getting back to nature, and I think that part like was already in me, in my DNA, you know, as being Native American and growing up with those kind of values from my beautiful mother and medicine woman. And I really felt like she was into stones, but I didn't really ever like, oh yeah, okay, they're cool, they're pretty. But I didn't really understand the energy part, because I was still living in box land here, you know, that we're programmed to live in. At some point, as I started shedding and getting rid of the programming and self-limiting beliefs, all this work that I've been doing spiritually, you know, and connecting, praying, meditating, I've really been able to like tune in more to energy, to vibration, to what makes me feel good, because I've been on a healing journey for almost a decade now with chronic illness, and I mean, I feel so much better if I could show you before and afters. I've done so much on my own without going to see a white coat kind of doctor, because they're the ones that kind of screwed me up, I realized. And just changing my lifestyle, changing my food, it all led me to this place where I'm like, I understand healing and what feels good. And now, when I first started connecting with the stones, it's funny because I was actually giving them, I had gotten one, it was like a big healing angel. Actually, I might have it with me. But I bring them everywhere with me. They're my little babies. but I was inspired to start giving a few gifts out. So I got some little mini angels, stones, quartz, different things, and I was giving them out. And eventually I had a friend that saw one that I'd given to somebody and the little card that I made. And she was like, oh, wow, where can I get those? That's a great gift idea. I want to give one to my friend. And I'm like, yeah, why don't I, because I'm looking for ways to support myself and get out of the corporate slave job.
Wow.
Like, why don't I dabble in that and check it out? And I just started aligning to it. And I love the energy of stones. I feel like I can kind of communicate to them and that they help me in different ways. And I've gotten great testimonials from the people that get stones from me. And I feel blessed and honored to be connecting people to these I really feel like they have little souls and that they are able to help in different ways. They have metaphysical properties that are pretty cool.
Pretty cool. That's pretty
cool.
dope. Pretty
and
cool.
Mother Earth, she doesn't create anything by mistake. Everything is here. If you look back to how they were using things way back in the day, even Egyptian times, these stones were important. They were using some of these stones. They were using them for makeup. They knew the power of them. They knew the power of water. They knew the power of elements, right?
And so you're saying you had the bowls and what else?
Yes, okay, from my Nokomiss tribe page. So I'm carrying other spiritual tools. I really love sound healing. So I started carrying the little sound healing singing bowls, and I have bells for different chakras.
You talking about the ones that you rub around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So some are crystal. I don't have the crystal ones. I have some of the they're a certain type of metal. But I have this beautiful business up near my home in Georgia. Well, we're in Georgia, but it's what is that? They're in Sewanee, I think. But they do a bunch of herbs, they do stones, they do all kinds of handmade products, and I've really gotten to love them, and so they started letting me carry their products. So I'm really excited about that. So I have all natural toothpaste, because you guys don't want to be using fluoride, I promise. Get that out of your children's mouths. They have toothpaste, they have soap, they're making all kinds of things. They have oils, incense, and actually when people order from me, I always send other little gifts too than my album. I send a little incense or an extra little stone, because I just love to give back. And it's a beautiful way that I can do that, But I want to expand, it's an empire that I'm growing, and it's about health. It's not about me, fame, fortune, any of that. It's about helping this world and still being able to live, in a happy life with my family while I do that. And so I'm super excited just to see it grow. I'm making my own oil blends right now. I'm going to be doing candles. I made orgone. I don't know if you're into that. Actually, I have a piece right here. I didn't make this one. My friend gave me this one, but it's basically it's a bunch of little stones and metal and things inside.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the material is that they use to make it, but I had her custom make 3 different types. And I'm so excited because they're all going to match. It's going to be a set. They're going to match the candles and the oils. And one is for, intuition, third eye. So these new songs that I just did, they're really going along with the brand.
With the brand.
Yeah, growing the empire. And I'm just continuing to expand as I go. I'm making a special VIP menu where you've heard of Tupperware parties?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be doing crystal and stone parties or
that's dope.
Spiritual parties. And I'll come. I love doing guided meditation and prayer. I do that on my page as well. That's on my Nokomiss page. And I do it on my YouTube, and people love to join in and just raise the vibration together. My little 7-year-old always joins. We do little animal symbolisms and things, and we share stories, and it's just it's uplifting. We have this beautiful tribe growing, and we would love to have more, of course. Join us and help us, change this world for the better. I mean, it's time, it's long overdue.
Right.
And I feel like the people are ready, and so here we are. All of us are going to be answering the call, know?
So you were deep into, you were connected with the animals too.
Yes. Well, again, Native American, right? The Mother Nature thing. Since I was young, I had always a butterfly little kind of animal spirit that I felt really connected with. And then as I got older, the hawk, which the hawk always visited my mother as well. And I've had some really, really cool stories. Things happen to me literally asking Great Spirit, that's what I call God. For everybody has a different word for that, but we call it Great Spirit. It's a Native American thing. So I actually asked, at one point I was not feeling well at all. I thought I needed to go to the ER. And I don't usually do this, but I sat out on my deck and I asked for help, do I need to go to the ER? Because I don't believe in that stuff. I don't want to go there. I really don't want to. I think it's a last, really it has to be an emergency to go see the white coats. So I went out and I just, I burned a little special sage, sacred sage from a medicine woman that I love. And I asked, Great Spirit, please, give me a sign if I'm okay. And this is just a part of my process and my journey. Because when you're going through detox and cleansing your body, you don't feel good. Like, you go through a lot of things because your body's trying to process poison out of it. And everybody's body does that differently. Some people can do it easy. Some people have a rough time based on their genetics. So for me, it was like crazy because literally within a minute of me asking for help, for guidance, which again, I don't really do this a lot. I hadn't really gotten that far into prayer at that time in my life. The most beautiful, like gray blue hawk, smaller, literally flew in, had to be within 3 to 4 feet of me where I was on the deck, and sat right on the branch and looked at me. And it was like, holy shit. I was like, did this really happen? Like, I had to pinch myself because it was like, okay. And meanwhile, I'd already had hawk experiences with my grandfather. There was one on the church when he passed away. Yeah. And so I've been having these experiences. And so this happened that was so significant. And I think that's really the day that I realized, like, you're magical. Like, you are literally, like, you don't even understand the power you have. Like, you just called that in and had an answer that was pretty solid. Because guess what? I was fine. I was just having, whatever, a little, stomach issue or something that was bothering me. So it was just, this is where I'm like, I'm so in tune with the animals. It's a connection for me. It's a connection for my sons. And we just love, like, speaking to them, singing to them. We'll go out in our sacred space and, like I've sang to deer, like, it just makes me feel really happy. And I feel like they appreciate it. I feel like the love connection, between the animal and me as well. And I've had things like this constantly. I just quit. I'm so excited. I have to share. I just quit my corporate job of like almost 10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been wanting to do it for years. I've been guided to do it, but I just couldn't, financially, I was concerned. I had that fear, that self-limiting belief that it wasn't possible. And the other day, actually it was just 2 days ago, I was talking to my husband about it. Like, hey, I think it's time. Because we've been talking about it a little bit, but we've been like, let's wait for the right time. I was like, I think it's time. And I really felt like it was time. I just received this activation. And he was like, oh, I don't know. And like, I started explaining to him why, and that like, there really wouldn't ever be a right time, and that, it's gonna work. And literally as I was saying all of this, a butterfly, a dark blue and black butterfly flew right by the window where we were sitting and sat there under the little porch and just like fluttered around the whole conversation the whole rest of the time. And for me, that was it. That was my signal. I didn't ask for it. I didn't need it, but it came and it's shown itself. And I've been being guided, and it's like, okay, Great Spirit, I hear, I'm following suit. And my husband agreed with me finally. We were all like, okay, we're doing this. It's the unknown. It's scary, but we're ready. And so, this is where I'm at. I'm like, I still have no idea. I've got little businesses going. I do a Purium business, which is a lifestyle transformation for health. So I have a couple different revenue stream options available, but nothing that's taking the place of a 40-hour job yet. So kind of jumped off the cliff, and I'm just like enjoying the free fall right now. Honestly, I'm so excited. Because it's like, I don't know what's to come, and I know that it's great though. I know that it's going to align to my heart instead of beat me up every day. Right. You know what I mean? Checking into that friggin' 9 to 5 because I have to. No, that's a slave. You don't have to do that. Right. You have a choice.
Exactly.
And so here I am. I made my choice, and I can't wait to share what's coming. I mean,
and I think that's the excitement about it, because you ready for anything, so that's the great excitement about it.
Yeah, well, and to be back here after a little bit of a music hiatus with the block, that I had a little bit of a block after releasing my album. I kind of mentioned about what that was like for me. And so to be able to like come in here and record a couple songs, like, it just feels, I love the movement, I love the energy, and it just feels like very exciting, where I'm headed right now. So yeah, it's gonna be good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're already talking music videos over here after we bang out 2 songs, right?
2 dope songs.
Yeah, thank you. Really like
So what is upcoming project that you're working on, or upcoming things that you got in motion as far as music?
Well, I mean, this is like, I mean, coming here and doing this. So now that I've done this, once I release those, I'll start probably planning music videos. I like to do that with my songs because I feel like it provides a visual. And I'm going to continue to work on more songs. I'm just right now looking for beats. So any producers that if you're different, okay, and you're real, I would love to chat with you. But I am waiting. My man over here is going to be giving me some more beats too. So I can't wait for that. And a lot of times, like I have music waiting in the wings, like written, like hooks and stuff like that. But a lot of times a beat inspires me to make a new song. And I love that part of the process too. Like it's cool to like have something and then have it fit. And it's like, oh, that's so divine. But it's also, it's just the reverse. You know what I mean? It's kind of that yin yang where it's like, sometimes it's good this way, sometimes it's good that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Like,
so
just
what works for you? The beat, like having the beat or not having the beat?
It works both ways, but it really depends. Yeah. Like, that's why I'm excited to have that happen where I have a beat and I'm inspired by the beat that way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen with a lot of.
Because the beat talks to you most of the time.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And I like a different style of. I think that's why I work so well with you because you are so multidimensional. Like you know what I mean? Like you really can hook almost anybody up with a beat. I mean, I would really like put that on you. Like I feel like you could.
Yeah,
so it's just, for me, like I think I personally like to be inspired by the beat. I really do. But with how many amazing songs I've made the other way, it's really hard to choose.
No, it's true. Okay, cool. So, all right, so let me ask you a question. All right, so do you feel like it's hard, as far as when it comes to music, because you being, Native American, some consider you white.
Oh, God, everybody considers me white.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah, so.
Speak the truth, my friend.
So
I'm white. I'm so white. You see me? That's why my tattoos look so good. Everybody's always like, wow, how'd you get that to happen? I just got really pale skin. Not magic, I swear. Yeah.
But do it get tough to get that respect in that field?
I'm glad you brought this up. What a good question, interviewer. And I gotta like put my PC pants on right now because we don't want to piss anybody off with this topic, okay?
Okay.
But I'm joking. I don't have those. I don't own PC pants, okay? We don't do political correct. It's been interesting because, come on, like, really, and my age too. Like when people find out, like you're a mom, you're this, you're that. It's like you do that. Like when I tell people like I rap, they're like, what?
Yeah.
And I remember way back in the day, way back before I ever was in Georgia, I was trying out for a show up at VH1 in New York City, the White Rapper Show. I don't know if you remember this. It was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever went to New York City. My husband, we weren't married then, but we went together. And I was going in for my whatever interview, and we had all the contestants were everywhere, and they look at us and they're like, so they kept asking him. They kept being like, oh, so what number are you? And he's like, it's not me. And he like points over to me, and they're like, what? I mean, mind blown. You know what I mean? So I think people don't really expect that from me, and I love that. Like I remember performing in Buckhead one time, and people were jamming. It was my Music's All I Know song. I still have the video. It makes me so happy to watch it. People were jamming. We were outside in Little 5 Points. And it was like the vibe, like people were honking after because there were people riding by in the street.
Right.
And like people were like getting up, jumping, just to feel that with other people, like that they respect you that way. Let's be real. Like most places that I'm going, it's not a lot of white people. Like it's not a lot of white people performing. It's not a lot of white people in the crowd. It's not, that doesn't bother me. I don't care. But some people would be intimidated by that. Some people would feel a certain way, but I don't look at people like that. I know some people don't understand that, but the way I grew up, it's like all love. Like to me, we're human beings. Like I look at you as a soul, just to keep it real. Like I look at your energy, I look at you as a soul. And that's how I form my decisions about people, about places. But I feel like it's probably been harder to gain respect sometimes when it comes to like performing and stuff like that. Like I feel like if I'm in like a real like industry kind of thing, it's definitely more pressure. It's definitely different. You know, I've had that, 8 Mile moment. We were just talking about that. I've had that happen. And, there's stereotypes, white people can't dance, white people can't do, whatever. Right. They can't rap, they don't have timing or whatever. But it's like, I grew up with like musical people. That's what we did, Maybe it's not the same type of music or style or whatever, or type of timing. But, to me, that doesn't matter. Like, either you're musical or you're not. It don't matter,
right.
how you look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people do judge people that way. And I remember after I left that 5 Points show, I was walking down the street to go to my car, and a guy, like, out of nowhere just walked up, and he was like, it's funny, I had my sons with me, and he just walked up to me, and he was like, so lit, he was so lit up, and he was like, oh my God, I just had to come and talk to you. You just totally expanded my mind to what I would ever expect out of a person. Like, it literally blew my mind, and it was like, wow, thank you, like, I appreciate that. To hear and feel like someone's change perspective.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's what I got from it. And it was pretty cool. So, for me, I like the challenge. I'm up for it. I want to be different. I want to be unique. And I want to be someone that people can look up to, that people can be inspired and motivated by, versus, like, I'm not out here trying to be, what's that white rapper girl? What's her name? I don't even know these people's names. This is so funny. I'm sorry. Iggy
Azalea.
Like her, and no shade. I don't care. I don't listen to mainstream music like that. But like, that's not my jam. That's not my thing. That's not where I'm fitting in. Like, I'm bringing a totally different style of music, and I'm bringing a lot more singing, a lot more vocals, a lot more of a different, like, a message. Like you said, I love storytelling. I'm a writer by heart.
Right.
So it's like that, if I can put the writing to the music, it's like, it's beautiful harmony to me. And I love that, you can create something that's so, layered and like has different parts and pieces.
Right.
And to me, again, there's no color lines with that. It's like, I don't see that shit. I just don't.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are stereotypes. There are things out there that, are real. There's probably not a lot of good white rappers, and that's probably real, and that's okay. But to me, I think that you always have to keep an open mind for every single, human being.
Exactly.
With what their abilities are.
Right.
Because miracles, I've seen some amazing things that humans can do.
Right.
Regardless of who they are.
Exactly. Okay, cool. All right. Before we slide off on NewbieVeT, is there any love that you want to shout out, and how can they get in contact with you?
Okay. Well, I would firstly want to shout out everyone that's helped me, on my musical path. It's been so amazing. And, producers, managers, people that have, supported my performances, that have voted for me, all of you, my tribe. I just really love all of you and appreciate, how far we've come. Look at me now. I say this in a lot of my music because, I think when I first started, it was like, people question, like, what are you doing? And is that just something, random for fun, hobby, and it's been almost a decade that I'm still, making music and really passionate about it. So thank you to everybody that supported me, and just know that you will always be VIP in my mind when I hit it big, because I can feel it. I can feel it coming. Noko's Tribe is growing. You can join us on Noko's Tribe Instagram, NOKOSTRIBE, and also on my music and advocacy page at Nokomiss77, NOKOMIS77. I'm also all over the place, social media wise, Facebook, Twitter, Reverb Nation. You can find my music on Spotify. My new album is available for download. It's called Divinely Connected. You can also get it on Reverb Nation, and I have hard copies too, so definitely hit me up if you're interested in that. It's a great album. I love it, and I really think the world needs to hear it right now. These can be trying times, but it's amazing what music can do, for our hearts and our souls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and, I was just thinking back about that time when I had a manager in Atlanta when I first wrote Just Your Type. So that beat, I picked this banging beat, and everybody, I was around a lot of other artists and a manager and a producer, and they were like, really? I think they didn't think I had it in me, and they were kind of questioning, well, you better, and when I came out with the hook, you know, got you thinking, I'm just your type. They were like, whoa, what is that? You know, like it was just really unexpected. I don't think they really expected it. And, you know, and I'm a lyricist, I'm a writer. So I delivered, and I had an amazing performance actually with that song at Apache Cafe. And it's just, you know, like to be able to be where I'm at right now, it's just mad love, extreme appreciation, infinite gratitude, and more to come. I mean, I'm still going, I'm still creating. These new songs that I just made are amazing. I'm so excited to share and really tap into more of my spirituality, kind of where I've come, you know, since releasing the album and kind of taking a little hiatus from music and doing more spiritual work. You know, I'm back and with more messages. So can't wait to share those with you. Get some music videos made over here in this amazing studio that you have. I am so blessed to be here.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I love working with you.
I really appreciate it. I love the same here, same here. We got a great chemistry, great vibe. Always bounce ideas off each other's heads and stuff.
Open, no
very
judgment.
Creative, exactly.
Yes, honest.
Exactly.
You know, I love that. I mean, it's hard to work with somebody that's like, you know, fake or, you know, not really supporting what you're doing. If somebody doesn't really like your music, it's like, why do you want to, you know what I mean? Like, why do you want to record with that? I mean, you're not having fun, you know, there's no passion there. So when I see you like, oh, you're, you know, looking at what you can do, and it like opened up this creative thing for you, it's like, oh, I love that. It's music to my soul.
Yeah, and that what creates iconic music. That what creates music that lasts for, you know. For,
absolutely,
you know,
collaboration.
Yeah, collaborations.
I agree.
Because even the great artists back then, like they greatest songs was collaborate with great producers. Quincy and Michael.
Absolutely.
You know, like different
things.
Well,
right? You know, I always talk about Aaliyah, my girl Aaliyah. And Timbo. I mean, you can't deny what they had. And it's like, it is this beautiful chemistry, like you said, and there's this divine connection.
Right.
And that's why I named my album that, because I really feel that in my heart when I make music. There's these like, it's for a reason. We're like paired up, and we're, you know, adding value, and we're, you know, bringing it to a level that we couldn't even imagine on our own. Do you know what I mean? Like when you made that beat, you know, Kodak moment. Right. You know what I mean? That I found on a live video, saying, hey, I want that. And like, you know, and then I come in with this song. Like, I just wonder, like, if you in your mind making that would have ever
I wouldn't never thought about it.
Like that coming from it.
Coming like that,
Yeah. So it's just a really cool process.
Just show you how things and work. Like you seen it on the live, as well, it's being recorded. It's crazy.
It's a beautiful process, and like I said, I'm just blessed. I have infinite gratitude, and thank you for, you know, letting me be here and speak to your amazing audience.
Oh man, most definitely, anytime, most definitely. And one more time, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, at Nokomiss77, that's on Instagram, and also at Noko's Tribe on Instagram. That's my stones and crystals, and I call it my sacred space because we have all our spiritual tools. And then just look me up, you know, Nokomiss. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Reverb Nation, pretty much everything, Nokomiss. So this has been amazing. My heart is expanded.